Making reservations when you're RVing or camping. Here's some thoughts. I've been RVing for full-time RVing for a long time, 30 years approximately. I don't tent camp. I camped in travel trailers, fifth wheels, mainly Class C motorhome. I've had 2 Class Cs and 1 Class B. So I've done it just about everywhere you can except tent camping. I did that many years ago. I ain't gonna do that again. But the point of this video is whenever you're making a reservation anywhere, whether it's a state park, national park, or an RV park, ask questions like, do you have mosquitoes? Because sometimes you'll think you've got a great deal on a great site, but you get there and you can't sit outside for the mosquitoes. Okay, that's not good. And they don't want to tell you. Okay, just ask this question. Say, have you ever had anybody complain about mosquitoes or insects? And sometimes they'll tell you right out, and then sometimes they'll hedge. Well, I don't remember any or something like that, but be that as it may. Then also ask, if it's an RV park particularly, are you going to be between 2 RVs? In other words, is there going to be an RV on your left and your right? And if so, do they have pets? Why do you want to know about pets? Because if they have 2 or 3 little dogs on each side of you, there's a good chance that if you want to sit out and read a book or have a beer and relax, that you're not going to do it without listening to somebody's dog. Now, am I against dogs? No, I'm not a bit. As long as I don't have to listen to them bark all night or when I'm trying to enjoy my relaxation outside my RV. But anyway, that's 2. So then you might want to ask about no-see-ums. That's an insect. And you may cover that when you ask about the mosquitoes. But no-see-ums here I'm in Carrizozo, New Mexico right now. I own this place right here. This is my home base, the only home base I have. And again, I'm 79. Been doing this a long time. And I was going to make a reservation in Arizona at an RV park and also at a lake. But what I found out was they got no-see-ums. And let me tell you, no-see-ums is little insects you can't see. They're like little biting insects. And so it's they'll just drive you nuts. Okay, if you've ever had them in your hair or wherever, you know what I mean. It can ruin a trip. And of course, weather is important. You want to know the weather forecast for the days you're going to be there or weeks or whatever. And is there a place to get groceries and resupply? Do they have a dump station? If they just have water or electric, that applies to state parks, national parks, BLM, and all that stuff. And yeah, but you gotta, if you don't ask, I mean, I know a lot of people go to recreation.gov and do all of their national park, state park, BLM reservations, but call the place that you're going to, and you'll finally get a hold of somebody. It may take a while, but you'll finally get a human being that knows something about that park that you're going to. And, ask some questions, man, because I was planning a trip or fixing to go on a trip, and I was ready to make reservations in Arizona at an RV park. And finally, after questioning the manager, owner, whatever, it was revealed that they do have the no-see-ums, and people have complained about it. But it's not the RV park's fault. These things, in some areas they're seasonal. Sometimes they're there all the time. Sometimes if it rains, they kind of disappear for a while and then they come back. But, if you're going to be RVing full-time or even part-time, weekend or whatever, just remember to ask those questions about, insects, dogs, try to find out who your neighbor's going to be, while you're there. Ask them, are they retired or do they work there? Or, because the RV manager, they know them. They know who they are. They've been there a while. And usually the best way or the most economical way to stay at RV parks is by the month. It is. The daily rate may be $45 a day, and that's a lot, which would be $1,200 or $1,300 a month at that rate. But if you go weekly, then it might be $225, all right? And that will include electric. So, that'll be a little bit of a savings, not much. But then if you stay by the month, they're usually, $450 to $700 a month. But you have to pay electricity on top of that at whatever rate they charge. And I always ask that, if I'm going to pay electricity, what is the kilowatt hour rate? I would say most RV parks charge whatever they're charged, and they're not trying to make money off the electricity. But every now and then, you'll run across one of these corporate RV parks, and they're not only trying to make money off the RV nightly, weekly, monthly rates, but they're going to make money off the electricity too. And if they have propane, they'll charge you a high dollar for it also. But anyway, what else can I think of? Again, location, of course, is important. I always like to be, where I can drive into town within, say, 30 minutes anyway, and, resupply. But getting a place is not easy now. And if it's a river, state park, or a BLM or whatever, there's a river there or a lake, then the weekends are going to be packed in the summer, usually. All right, particularly if it's a fishing lake or a recreation lake, then they're going to be packed on the weekends. So the most you could do would be to stay 5 days. Monday through Friday morning, or Friday. You'd probably have to leave Friday morning. Probably couldn't get Friday night, and so that's something to take into consideration. So there you'd be leaving the the state park or national park on a weekend to try to find something else. That could be very difficult. And, so make those plans in advance. There's only so many Walmarts, that you can pull into and stay overnight. And there, more and more of the Walmarts are stopping the overnight camping. And some cities have a city ordinance that you can't camp overnight at a Walmart or whatever. So just be aware of all those things. But other than that, RVing is great. I mean, if you can find a place to camp, and of course there's the RV parks. They I don't know if they've overbuilt them or there's too many or what. I just know that they all seem to be making a lot of money, and there's many, many, many more of them than there were 20 years ago. And they're in great locations. And they're most of them are clean, and the sites are level, and everything works. And so and they usually have a bathhouse, a place to wash clothes and stuff, and all of that's great. But again, ask the obvious questions, because I've called right here this morning. This is July the 19th, I think, 2024. It's about, I don't know, 9:30 a.m. maybe. It's cool here. I'm in Carrizozo, or near Carrizozo, New Mexico, and the temperature right now is probably 72 degrees, slight wind out of the north. Beautiful day. We've had some beautiful weather. I've been here a month this time, and so far, and I'll be here longer, but you're looking at the same view I'm looking at, right? And it's hard for me to motivate myself to go and stay in an RV park or a state park or anywhere, because I don't have any privacy like this, and you get used to this. And Carrizozo, the little town, population about 600 or whatever it is. There's no traffic, no noise, no sky light pollution at night. You can see the stars, and and of course it's just pretty, and so But I'll continue. But I was sitting here trying to make these reservations, and I was running into little humps everywhere and bumps. And I could book Monday through Thursday at some places, but I couldn't get a Friday, and then I couldn't find a place nearby to drive to within 3 or 4 hours that was a place I wanted to be. So I was running into those things that I've always run into, and that's finding a series of campgrounds that make the trip enjoyable. You know, because what I like to do is make horseshoes. You know, go out one way and go up and then around and then back to my home base here in New Mexico, and it's not easy. I mean, and the New Mexico State Parks, you know, there's a lot of them, and I have a New Mexico State Park pass, which is a super deal because I've got mine paid through the end of December. I know they're changing their rates, la la la, and but I'm a New Mexico, sort of a New Mexico resident now, and I can get the rates that the New Mexico residents get, and it's a great deal. However, the places I want to be are very crowded because you want to be up in the elevations now around 6,500 feet or so in the summer, because if you're at, say, Elephant Butte, it's going to be hot. You know, if you're at El Morro, if you're at, let's see, I'm trying to think of the name of that lake. But anyway, there's several lakes that have state parks in New Mexico, and most of them this time of the year are pretty hot unless you get above 6,000 feet. You know, you go to Navajo Lake, the northern part of New Mexico, and it's a good place, but you know, it's hard to get enough days in a row to make it worthwhile to be there, you know, or to drive there. And so anyway, I'm just rambling on here, enjoying my beautiful view here this morning. And yeah, this is pretty nice, huh, guys? And yeah, this thing looks like it's fuzzed up, doesn't it? The video, is it? I can't tell. Is that just my poor vision or what? But anyway, I'm hoping you're seeing this pretty clearly. It doesn't look that clear though, does it? Let's try it again here. Can't really tell. I don't know what it's focusing on. Is that better or worser? Well, whatever. The video was a talking video. Move back to improve focus. Well, I can't move back. I'm against my RV. Okay. So for some reason, I'm trying to refocus here. What's that got to do with renting a site? Nothing. Not a thing. But anyway, whenever you're RVing now, particularly, I would certainly recommend reservations. Now, if you're boondocking, you probably got a better chance of finding a place. Or if you're willing to stay at a campsite that does not have any hookups at all, then you've probably got a better chance of finding a spot. But if you want water and electric, they're going to be filling up quick. And if you want full hookups, then you're out. I mean, you can book those a year in advance in Arizona, and I think in New Mexico it's 6 months or so in advance. And people do that. People that live in their RVs full time, they know how the game's played. And when that window's open, they're filling up their calendar. You know, is that smart? Of course it is. You know, if you're going to live on the road, you got to have a home. You know. But anyway, guys, from near Carrizozo on a beautiful day, I guess I'll give up planning a trip because, you know, I want water and electric, and I want elevation 6,000 feet plus. I don't want barking dogs on both sides of me. I don't want no-see-ums. I don't want mosquitoes, and because I don't have any of that here, you know. I have to have a reason to go, and right now I haven't found any. But anyway, enjoy your life. Use the Amazon link in the description of my video. It's just a generic link, takes you to Amazon. You can go buy whatever you want then. But enjoy your life, keep your health, and if you're a full-timer or a part-time RVer, just bear in mind that all that glitters isn't gold, and take your time, do your reservation thing, and enjoy your travel. Adios, amigos. Bye-bye.